Hello, everyone. Hello. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me live on YouTube, Silent Sports and Gaming channel. Silent Sports Video Blog, episode 279. Today is October 31st, 2024. Thank you for watching. Troy West here as another week of sports has passed us by. Thanks so much for watching. Congratulations, by the way, to the Los Angeles Dodgers clinching the World Series championship last night in New York. Game 5, 7-6 in a wild game. Yankees went up 5-0. That horrible fifth inning with the mistakes that the Yankees made. Dodgers took advantage. Yankees went up a run, but then the Dodgers was able to add two more and hold on to win it. And win this thing in 5. We'll talk about that coming up first. NBA talk. We'll talk. We look at the standings right now. Look at a few little storylines around the NBA. And we got another retirement of a veteran player. We'll talk about that. And NFL Week 9, we'll preview tonight's game in New York, New Jersey, East Rutherford. It's a huge game for the Jets as they host the Houston Texans, coming in limping, but still a 6-2 record. Jets are 2-6. Definitely need this win to stay relevant. And we'll talk about the Colts benching Anthony Richardson. And we'll look ahead to Week 9 games, and I'll go with my power rankings as well. And we'll look at the college football schedule, other little tidbits in sports. Special, I would say this is a special start, but usually I'll start till 3, or I usually come over early, like 11. But I did it in the middle of the day, about 1 o'clock, had some things to work around the day. So thank you guys for joining me this afternoon, or if you're watching the playback, thank you as well. And we'll talk about the channel update and everything coming up. We had a little bit of a standstill. We're still at 310 subscribers. Hopefully, like I said, we reach our goal of 500 before the year's out. I'm going to try to put together some new things. Maybe they'll bring some more buzz to the channel as well. And, but every week I'll be here for this show. And throughout the season, look out for the Monday Football Hangover, NFL Hangover, every Monday, as well as we look back on the games and preview the Monday night game. That's what we're going to do all season long. And then in the postseason, we'll do the same thing all the way through the Super Bowl. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. MLB playoffs is over now. We got a champion, the Los Angeles Dodgers, winning the World Series last night in 5 games. The last night's game was 7-6 final. Dodgers won the first 2 games at home. The first game, of course, was a dramatic walk-off grand slam by Freddie Freeman, who was the World Series MVP. 4 homers in the first 4 games. Didn't hit a home run last night, but still had some big hits. Drove in some runs. He was the clear World Series MVP. But he had the walk-off grand slam at the bottom of the 10th inning. The win game 1. That pretty much set the tone for this series. Dodgers won the next 2 went up 3-0. Yankees survived game 4, big win 11. I think they won 11-4 in that game pretty easily. But then tonight got off to a great start. Was up 5-0. I was watching this game. 5th inning came. Garrett Cole rolling. Then I think Judge had the first error. Aaron Judge has been having a tough postseason. He misplayed the ball, and that pretty much got the inning going. Then Volpe had a throw there to third base. Bases got loaded, and the Dodgers just chipped away. Was able to tie the game at 5. Yankees went ahead 6-5. I think in the 7th inning, I think they got that run. But the Dodgers was able to come back and get 2 more. Walker Buehler, who's been great in this series as well. Other than Freeman was the clear MVP, but if you wanted to give another one, Buehler was huge for them in this series as well. Closing out the game and getting the Dodgers their first championship since 2020. But if you want to put the asterisk on the 2020 championship, which any team, if you won in 2020, is a little asterisk by your name. Probably other than, like I said, Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, they don't bother that one too much. Maybe because it's Brady and he's won so many times. But But the Lakers, they don't get full credit for their championship in the bubble, and then this baseball championship in 2020, the Dodgers. So yeah, they won, but it's but. So if you go before that, it was 1988 when they won their last title in a full season because the COVID season was 80 games. So um, big win for the Dodgers. Not a real surprise. Like I think people try to don't pick the obvious because the obvious haven't been winning the championship in baseball. It's been a team out of nowhere like last year with the Texas Rangers. So nobody expected them to win it last year. It's always a team you don't really expect to win. The big teams still do what they do in the regular season, but then in the postseason usually fall short. So this was a rare World Series of late because of that. Dodgers had the best record in baseball the whole year. So really shouldn't be a surprise if you look at it that way, but at the same time, I picked the Yankees to win this series, so I go in and say I was wrong. I just thought the Yankees bats. Honestly, I did think Judge will hit a little bit better and even days out. But that game one, I think game one pretty much told the series. Now that you look back at it at hindsight, that pretty much was the flip. Because let's just say the Yankees wound up winning that game, the whole momentum would have changed. It would have at least been tied 2-2 last night instead of being a 3-1 lead minimum. So, uh, it just would have been a whole different series. So that pretty much tipped the series in the Dodgers' favor. They wound up winning it in 5 games. And I was saying in the back of my mind, I said now, even though the Dodgers got it done, if they would have lost last night and going back to LA Game 6, if the Yankees would have somehow won that one, I think they would have. I think they would have probably made history. I think they would have been all the momentum would have been definitely on. Even if they'd have won last night's game, Game 6 would have been a lot of pressure on the Dodgers as well. So I think that they got it done in 5. I think they had to. I think that's why they put Brewer out there to close it out because they felt like if they didn't win this game, Yankees really would have had a shot to come back and win the series themselves. So congratulations to the Dodgers. Baseball season is over. So we won't be hearing nothing about baseball at least probably till they give out the awards, even though the awards, the 2 big ones are obvious. It's going to be Judge in the American League MVP. It's going to be Tony. Hopefully he's okay. He got hurt in Game 2. Really wasn't the same. But his bat in the lineup, because really it was only Freddie Freeman really with the big hits. And the bottom of that Dodger lineup, Toscar Hernandez, some of the low, Will Smith, some of those lower tier. Because Mookie pretty much struggled the whole series. Muncy struggled. Tony, like I said, he struggled as well, especially after the injury. So it was really Freddie Freeman most of the time getting the big hits for the Dodgers, but it was enough for them to win a championship. Looking forward to next year in baseball. Hopefully my Braves can bounce back and stay healthy. The Orioles are going to be a contender again. Yankees ain't going nowhere. We'll see what they do in the offseason. Will they lose Soto or not? I feel he's going to stay, but he did just say today that he's open to going anywhere. A lot of other free agents. So we'll see how the teams change. But right now, the Dodgers are the best team, not just because they won the championship, but even going into next year, if let's just say nothing changes, they'd be probably favored again to win it next year. So great World Series, despite it being so short. A lot of dramatic moments. Me being a Yankees fan, me being an Orioles fan, and a Braves fan. I'd rather see the Yankees lose, but I still respect the organization. They ain't going nowhere. They're going to be a contender for a while. Maybe they can get mad next year, but we'll see. But great series. Congratulations to the LA Dodgers once again. They are your World Series champions. And next year will probably be a heavy favorite as well. So we ain't going to have much more baseball to talk about for a while. So, probably towards the beginning of the season, we have a preview show. We'll probably do a little list every week or something like that. But other than that, not going to be much baseball to be talked about unless something happens. Maybe when free agency starts. But other than that, we ain't going to really have a lot of baseball to talk about. But congratulations to the Dodgers. We'll see how things unfold from here on. good win for them. Like especially last night, got off the mat. Was able to get that big win last night to win the championship. So congratulations to them again. Another great baseball season in the books. They won't be back till mid-February, of course, for spring training. So um, let's get into the NBA now. NBA, of course, now we're about 2 weeks in to this season. So um, some teams have slowed down. So let's see. Okay. We're gonna look at the standings. Let's go through the standings first. Last night it was a slew of games. Of course, LeBron going back to Cleveland again. This time with Bronny James. Bronny James scored his first bucket in the NBA in Cleveland. So another iconic moment there. Let's get into the NBA bracket here. Let's just go through the scores from last night. I didn't watch any games last night. And then we'll look at the games tonight. Washington Wizards beat the Atlanta Hawks 133-120. Hornets over the Raptors 138-133. No overtime, so you can tell how high these score games is. I mentioned the Lakers. They lost big to the Cavaliers 134-110. Pacers upset the Celtics in overtime 135-122. Now, I would say this to my brother and other people. Yeah, it's early in the season, so you're going to see surprising results here and there. The Pacers, though, I think this is more of a realistic result because they're just not afraid of playing anyone. So the Pacers, like I said, the Pacers going to be that team. Depending on where they fall, they could probably be a contender to get to the Eastern Finals again. Big win for them last night. Pistons beat the 76ers 105-95. Of course, the Sixers are injury prone. No Embiid yet. No Paul George. Knicks, big game for Karl Anthony Towns. 44 points. The Knicks beat the Miami Heat on the road. Bulls over the Magic 102-99. Magic been off to a great start. Thunder over the Spurs 105-93. Of course, the matchup between Wemby and Chet Holmgren. Warriors continue to win, beat the Pelicans big 104-89, and the Blazers beat the Clippers 106-105 in a tight one. James Harden bad turnover cost the Clippers the game, and these was the games from last night. Games tonight, if you're into NBA tonight, let's pull that up real quick. Bucks Grizzlies, interesting game. That's on NBA TV if you have that. Rockets and Mavs. Starting to look like they hit their stride already. Spurs and Jazz. Suns and Clippers. They are the games tonight. So a small sample size of games tonight. That Suns Clippers game is on NBA TV as well. So let's see. So let's look at the standings first, and then we'll talk about who retired in the last couple of days. Cleveland, I think the only other defeated team in the NBA. No, the OKC is still undefeated. So Cleveland 5-0. Boston, of course, just lost. They 4-1. Chicago, Orlando 3-2. Then there's a whole bunch of teams 2-2. Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hornets, Hawks, Pacers, Brooklyn Nets. They are 2-3, and 2 1-3 teams in the East: Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and 2 1-4 teams: Detroit, Toronto. In the West, of course, OKC undefeated 4-0. Phoenix and Dallas. Golden State 4-1. Excuse me. First, 3-1. Phoenix, Dallas. 3-2. The Lakers stand in by themselves with that. Houston, LA Clippers, Sacramento Kings, Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets, all 2-2. 2-3 teams: Portland, New Orleans Pelicans, Memphis Grizzlies. 1-3 is the Spurs, and the only winless team in the NBA right now is the Utah Jazz. So, still early, like I said, still early in the season. This could get flipped upside down very quickly. But right now, no. If you made predictions, no need of changing them yet. Um, but like I said, teams just gotta stay healthy. Well, people are already worried about the Milwaukee Bucks after that 1-3 start. They said about the chemistry with Dame and Giannis, but every game I've watched closely or really followed, those two playing well. It's the rest of the team not. They're not getting no production from a third guy or nobody else. I think Chris Middleton still got injuries going on. I think Bobby Portis going to have to be a key component. Him and Brook Lopez. I think they got to use their size. I don't know if they don't use it, but I think they have an advantage in that. So if I was them, I'd definitely feature those two guys, and just let Giannis and Dame do their thing. Um, but the Bucks, like I said, Doc Rivers, like I said, I don't hate the guy. I just think he's overrated. I just think he's an average coach. Um, and hopefully he get this thing fixed around. But it's hard for me to have confidence that he's going to do that. So, but I think they're going to be fine regular season wise. Like I said, I think they'll be fine. They'll still make the playoffs. But after that, um, I don't know where this Bucks team's going to go. So that's my thoughts on that. But the Sixers, Embiid, I think he's supposed to play soon. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the next game is against the Grizzlies on Saturday. It's a possibility he could play in that game, but they want to still get him through these workouts and stuff first. That's basically, in a nutshell, what I'm reading here. So he's closer than he was, but still want to be cautious, see how he reacts to these 5-on-5 scrimmages and practice and everything. And if he holds up, he will play his first game of the season, maybe Saturday against the Memphis Grizzlies. So we'll see about that. Like I mentioned, there's a retirement in the NBA. A guy I sort of forgot about, Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay retires finally from the NBA. He's been in the league 16 years, 17 years. It just show how old I am. Very talented player, of course. Speaking of the Grizzlies, he was probably most known on those Grizzlies playoff teams, the grit and grind Grizzlies. Then once that team faded out, he thought it was a journeyman. It was a bench player, a solid bench player. He was very, very talented. Where did he go to school? I want to say he went to. Let me see. I want to say USC, but I think I might be thinking about OJ Mayo, who also played for the Grizzlies. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that out real quick. But he was one of my favorite players as far as like in the watch. He was athletic. He developed a jump shot later in his career. But just could never be that, never was shown to be the number one option. And maybe this Grizzlies was hoping for that. But still had a solid NBA career. So I always say congratulations because when you can when you can you pretty much go. I mean, I don't want to say he's not going out on his own terms, but to last that long in the NBA or any league, UConn. That's what I knew it was one of the bigger schools. He went to UConn. But yeah, he had a great career. Congratulations to him retiring. Maybe he'll start doing some TV work. That's pretty much the first thing that players do when they get out, retire. But he was a fun player to watch. Of course, he was a Jazz. That was his latest team he was with. So Rudy Gray, congratulations on his retirement. Just show how old we are getting, how old I'm getting. But that was really interesting to see. I saw it yesterday. I think he announced it on Tuesday, but I didn't see it till yesterday that he is retired. So, congratulations to him again. Great career for Rudy Gay. Hopefully we see. Hope he don't fade out. I don't mean that in a bad way. He might just want to live his life and live behind the scene. I hope he get on TV or do something, do a podcast or something. That's what a lot of these players are doing now. I would just like to see, because he didn't really talk a lot. So I would like to see um, his personality and stuff. So, but congratulations to him. Um, he retired on Tuesday. Um, and what a career that he had, up and down career, but he had a great career in the NBA. All right, so that's it with our NBA talk. Of course, the next week we're looking at the standings again. It'll be another week into the league, and if any big news happen, we'll have it right here next week. So now we're gonna get into the NFL. We got a game tonight. Of course, it's Thursday night football. Houston, Texas at the New York Jets. Big game for the Jets for sure to stay alive in the AFC, let alone that division. But I think the Bills got that division pretty much wrapped up unless they fall off the face of the earth. I don't see the Bills relinquishing the division to anyone. But let's just focus on this game, and then we'll look at the rest of week 9, and then we'll look at the standings, and then I'll go over my power rankings again. Houston, like I said, they come in a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, Stephon Diggs tore his ACL last week on a non-contact play, so he's out for the year. Unfortunate for him and for the Houston Texans. Nico Collins still out for an extended period of time. So the Houston is dead at receiver. CJ Stroud, the offensive line has been not protecting him as much. So he's been up and down all season long. But it's going to be Joe Mixon. Like I said, if the offense is going to move anywhere, it's going to be up to Joe Mixon and how he runs the football. He can catch the ball in the backfield. It'd be a hot read for CJ as well. So I think if they do that tonight, they'll be fine. Defense have played pretty good all season long. Texas 6-2. Like I said, they got a big lead in the South. So not as devastated if they lose tonight, but I think they want to get a win just so they can get healthy and move forward. The New York Jets again. Very lot of drama going on off the field. Aaron Rodgers. They could trade for Devontae Adams. Excuse me. Pardon me. I guess he was just checking the door. Yeah, so the Jets, they need this win big. 2-6. AFC under the division leaders. Let's pull up the standings now. But of course, the East is the Bills and the Texans got big leads in their divisions. The West, Kansas City, yeah, Denver's right there, but you don't expect Denver to catch Kansas City. And in the North, it's kind of tight with the Steelers and the Ravens. But as far as a wild card, it's going to be tough with all these teams bunched up together. So the Jets can't afford to lose any more games, really. Yeah, they last in the division technically because Miami's 2-5, and they lost to New England. So all those teams with 2 wins. So the Jets are actually at last. Like I said, Houston, the Colts are right there, 2 games back. But like I said, it's inevitable that they're gonna win the division. Let's look at. I think we can pull up the playoff. Yeah, the playoff standing. So we'll see exactly where the Jets stand as of right now. Well, Jets are wow, almost dead last, only ahead of Tennessee, so they are way out of it. But Seven teams. Chargers at 4-3 right now leads that last spot. Um, Denver, we still got to see what they do, but it's not completely over yet. But they got to start putting together some wins. I think 9 wins could get you in this year. 9 wins, maybe even 8 wins, could get you in the AFC this year. That's yet to be determined, but I think 9, 10, I think you're almost assuring. But 9, I think you got to have at least 9 or 8. I think less than 8, you probably going to fall short. So if they lose, let's just say they lose tonight, they still could get 10 if they win all the rest of their games, which you don't think that's going to happen. So you only have room to lose 2 more games. So this is a big game tonight for the New York Jets. But I see Houston winning this game. I just can't. The Jets is in that category. Is until you see it, you just can't believe it. I thought, honestly, with that Pittsburgh game, I thought that's what they were just going to start rolling. But Pittsburgh won, and then the New England loss is really, really a big one. So until I see it, I can't put too much confidence in the Jets. I think Houston goes to here. It's going to be a close defensive game. I think it'll be about 20-17. I see a score of that nature, and Houston winning, going to 7-2. Unfortunately, the Jets have fallen to 2-7. I just don't see how they turn this around. But I think they need to. I think even though, like I said, even though you got a lot of teams that like to throw the football, I think the Jets got to also put the ball in Brees Hall's hand. Let him be the vocal of your offense. Then play action pass and throw the ball behind that. I think, if they do that, I think the offense will start playing better. Defensively, though, they ain't been playing well either of late. So everything is out of whack right now for the Jets. And I heard them say today, which is crazy to think about, but it's true. Of course, since the Jets made all these big moves, firing Robert Saleh, getting Devontae Adams. I don't know why I keep thinking about DeAndre Hopkins. Devontae Adams. Since they made all these moves, the OC, all the moves they made, they haven't won a game. So that doesn't make things better either. So, and Aaron Rodgers is the face of all this. So, a lot of pressure with him to get it done. That's why a lot of people say, well, they bounced against the wall. But I thought they bounced against the wall last week. I thought they bounced against the wall against Pittsburgh. So until I see anything, like they win tonight, maybe I start believing a little bit of them again. But for right now, I have to dismiss the Jets in this moment. So I think Houston will pull it out and win this game tonight on Thursday Night Football. Let's go ahead and go through the games, and then I'll talk about the Anthony Richardson situation. I'll say that for the last thing we talk about. Let's pull up the standings. Let's pull up the games first, because we kind of already went through the standings. We went through the standings still too. Matter of fact, since I'm right here, let's just go ahead and go through the standings real quick. Lost connection on my device. Sorry. Hopefully it comes back. Like I said, I appreciate you guys being here with me today. Nice day on the East Coast. Very over temp. What you call it? Warmer than it's supposed to be. Word not coming to me right now. Out of season temperatures, I guess you could say. Of course, it's fall. I think the average temperature is supposed to be in the 60s, and it's in the low 80s today. Nice little breeze to go with it. So, very, very good temperature today. All right, I think I got my connection back. Here we go. All right, so now we're in the scores. So let's just go and get the scores out the way. We already reviewed Texas Jets. I got Texas tonight. Saturday, look out for my picks, my official picks for all the games this week. I think we got 2 teams on the bye this week. Maybe I try to figure it out. If not, I'll look it up and see who it is. Broncos, Ravens, and Broncos both 5-3. Ravens, of course, bad loss last week to the Cleveland Browns. Broncos overachieving a little bit. We'll see if Bo Nix continue to do what he's doing, but this is the Broncos defense that's been even more impressive. Ravens gotta be careful again, or they could drop 2 in a row. Um, Ravens is a 9.5 point favorite. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a closer game than that. Dolphins at Bills. Even though Tua is back, Dolphins playing better, but the Bills have owned the Dolphins. I think that will continue. Most likely. Buffalo is 6 point favorite. Josh Allen still in the MVP race, so we'll see how that game unfolds. Chargers at Browns. This has become an interesting game. Browns getting some mojo back. Jameis. Like I said, it's a good quarterback when he don't turn the ball over. Chargers, of course, playing smash mouth football, so we'll see how that matchup turns out. Chargers actually a 1.5 favorite on the road. Saints at Panthers. Panthers are a mess. Bryce Young will get the start again. I think the Saints probably pull out this game. I think their car is close to coming back, but he got some setbacks, I believe. But I just think the Panthers are the worst team in football right now. They traded away Deontay Johnson to the Ravens, as I just forgot to mention that I was talking about the Ravens. But I think the Saints probably win this game. They have a 7 point favorite. Can't argue with that. Raiders at Bengals. Bengals, of course, been up and down all year, 3-5. Raiders are 2-6. Raiders just always rarely win a game they ain't supposed to win. I don't know if it'll be this week, but the Bengals better be careful. 7 point favorites at home. They haven't won a home game all season. Commanders at Giants. They just played a couple weeks ago. Let's see if the Commanders can beat them again. Big win last week. I think that's going to catapult them with more confidence. Jalen Daniels playing well. Definitely the front runner for Rookie of the Year. Giants not playing terribly, but still not good enough to win. We'll see what happens this Sunday. Washington's a 4 point favorite. Cowboys at Falcons. Cowboys in the free for all as well at 3-4. Falcons at 5-3. I think Atlanta. This is a game they usually lose. Now that the expectations is on them again. But I think this Dallas is just not playing well at all. I think Atlanta will win probably. They up by 3. Have my official picks on Saturday. Patriots at Titans. I started Titans. Patriots with a big win last week. Titans, just like I said, the free for all as well. I think the Patriots, even though they're not favorite, Titans at 3.5 at home. But I liked what the Patriots did last week. We'll see what happened in that game. Pretty much a loser probably wound up being the #1 pick possibly in next year's draft. Bears at Cardinals. This is an interesting game. Cardinals with a 1.5 point favorite. 4-4. Bears at 4-3. Devastating loss. You could say they should have won the game and be 5-2 instead of 4-3 right now, but they 5-3, so you gotta give them what they are. Cardinals, like I said, it has the talent to compete with anyone. So this is gonna be a hard-fought game for the Bears. We'll see if they can get it done on the road. Jaguars at Eagles, sort of a reunion, as Doug Peterson comes back to Philadelphia with his 2-6 Jags. Eagles are 5-2. Eagles might have found maybe their identity. It looks like they have. I was impressed by them last week. We'll see if they can continue to roll with that. Jags sort of in a second place right now as well. But at least Trevor Lawrence has played better. Maybe he'll play well and make this a game, but we'll see. Probably the biggest game of the week, Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Both teams with 6 wins. Lions with just 1 less loss. Lions probably look like the best team in football right now. Do have the off-the-field trouble with the receiver, Williams, I believe. Packers, Jordan Love, sort of been up and down, but it's been good enough to win. The Packers, young team, defense and offense, playing pretty good. Huge game for the Pack. Let's see if they can win it to get to take lead of that division if they do. Rams and Seahawks. Seahawks at 4-4. Rams at 3-4. What's going on with the signal? Seattle just been up and down. I think they have a chance to run away with the division now that they have it. Rams getting healthier. Should be an interesting game in Seattle. Uh, Sunday night football, Colts at Vikings. We about to talk about the Colts in a minute with Anthony Richardson. Joe Flacco will get the start as Richardson was benched due to the game play and probably the decision to check us out about the game. Um, Vikings lost 2 in a row. But I like the way they played last week, even though they lost. We'll see if they can win to get back on track. And Monday Night Football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs, of course, undefeated at 7-0. Bucks 4-4. Tampa, haven't, like I said, the injuries has been a factor. But now they probably going to be looking up at the Falcons in the South. So got to get a win to stay in the wild card hunt. Chiefs continue to win close games. We'll see what happens in this game. I think this is a week we'll see. Now I can say DeAndre Hopkins maybe have a big play and get this Chief offense on the road. So there are the games for Week 9. Like I said, I have my picks on Saturday. So join me on Saturday. Look on all my social media right here on YouTube. It'll be on here first, and then I'll post it on social media a few hours later. Okay, so let's take a look at the standings real quick. We already sort of skipped through the AFC. We're gonna look in the NFC as well. Buffalo, well ahead in the East at 6-2. Miami 2-5. New England and the Jets 2-6. AFC North is tight. Steelers at 6-2. Baltimore Ravens 5-3. What's up, Mr. Joe? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
All right, bro.
That's good.
I think he got the door open for you. I think.
No, he said
he said he's open. Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where was us? Yeah, Ravens 5-3. So the Steelers lead the North. Cincinnati 3-5. Still alive, maybe for a wild card. Cleveland 2-6. They become interesting now if Jameis keep playing the way he's playing. South, I mentioned Houston. Then it's Indianapolis at 4-4. Jacksonville 2-6. Tennessee 1-6. Kansas City 7-0. Of course, only undefeated team. Denver 5-3. Chargers, LA Chargers 4-3. Raiders at 2-6. And that's the AFC. NFC, Washington Commanders at 6-2. Eagles 5-2. Dallas at 3-4. Giants at 2-6. Detroit leads the North, but they play Green Bay this week. 6-1. Detroit 6-2. Green Bay. Minnesota's right there at 5-2. Chicago right behind at 4-3. South, Atlanta 5-3. Tampa 4-4. New Orleans 2-6. Carolina 1-7. And in the West, Arizona at 4-4. San Francisco 4-4. Seattle 4-4. So a three-way tie for the West. So this division will get interesting. And Rams at 3-4. So I know the Niners is one of the teams that's on the bye. So who is the other? I think it is the Tennessee Titans because I didn't see the Titans on the scoreboard. So I think it's the Titans and the Niners on a bye this week. No, the Titans play, so I don't see the Niners. So it's a team missing. See if I can figure it out before I gotta look it up. Okay, let's look at the standings again. I think it might be the Bengals. Is it the Bengals? I didn't see the Bengals on here playing anybody. No, it's not the Bengals. Alright, who's on the bye then? Alright, Buffalo plays. Wait, do they? Yeah, they play Miami. New England playing. Jets are playing. Steelers. Is the Steelers playing anyone? I think it might be the Steelers. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's the Steelers. So I think it's the Steelers and the Niners both on a bye. I don't see the Steelers over here playing anyone this week. Yeah, so that's it. Yep. So it's the Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers on a bye this week in the NFL. But like I said, a lot of big games again this week. We'll see. Like I said, this is some big games. Like I said, the Detroit, Green Bay, that's huge. Chiefs, Buccaneers, that's a big game. Colts, Vikings for a lot of reasons. Seahawks, Rams because of the West. So any game in that division is tough. Bears, Cardinals, you could say as well. Yeah, Cowboys, Falcons. Yeah. They're probably be in tonight's game. Got a lot of playoff implications in it as well. So, big week in the NFL. Like I said, I had my picks for Sunday's games and the Monday night game on Saturday. So check out right here on YouTube or follow me on any of my social media, Facebook or Instagram, to be on both. So thanks for that as well. Let's get into the Anthony Richardson benching. I didn't see the game, but of course everybody see the highlights. He did play well. I think he was 2 of 18 for the game or something crazy like that. He's not passing for. He's under 50% completion percentage when he's played because he's been hurt again this year a little bit. So Joe Flacco has already played this year for the Colts. Not surprised. Not surprised. Only why you're a little surprised is some Jeff Saturday, former coach of the Colts. You know, he coached the Colts. What was the year before last? Right out of ESPN. Then he went back to ESPN. But he thinks they should just ride out Richardson because they figure he can't. He said because he can't learn on the bench. I think this is more to me. This is more about when he checked himself out the game and just some of the stuff he says too. I think it's more about. I think it's more of a discipline benching. I don't think it's really necessarily about how he played. I mean, I think it makes it an easier decision, but I think because what he said, like he, just the little stuff that he said. The NFL was not as hard as college, and just the little stuff that he said. He just said like he's an immature young man. I think the coach trying to rein him back in. So I think if I'm right, if it's just bitching is just because of his maturity, he'll be back in a couple of weeks. I think unless Flacco go on an unbelievable roll, but if they just still hover around 500, they probably go back to A-Rich just to, like I said, to get the reps. Because they're in a good position right now. 4-4 is a good position in the AFC to make the playoffs. So they possibly could. Joe Flacco has been unbelievable since last year when he played for the Browns. Even this year, the few times he's played this year for the Colts. So I think he does have to give them the best chance to win. There's no question about that. So I agree with Jeff Saturday a little that I don't think he's going to get better per se on the field, but I think mentally he got to get that right. So I think this is a good move. Let him sit, get his thoughts together. Maybe I don't want to say help because it's not like the kid's about to go jump off a cliff or anything, but just to get him rounded, get him mentally stable to play quarterback because his mindset definitely don't match what he needs to be to win. So and to be better. So I think maybe the benching is more to say, oh, whoa, let me get myself together. And they might go back to it. We'd be surprised to go back to it, especially if Flacco somehow don't play that well as expected. But if he does, it's a possibility they might stick with him because they will have a good chance at making the playoffs. if the Colts do keep winning. Like I said, who they play this week again? They have. Oh, it's a Sunday night at the Vikings, so going to be a tough game either way. And I like Anthony Richardson. He went to Florida, one of my schools that I like to root for. But like I say, didn't really have a long career at Florida either. You know, I think he started 10 games. He just has the arm talent. You see him flash with his arm talent here and there. So if he can somehow wane it in, he could be a good quarterback in this league. But we said it about a lot of guys, so hopefully he's not going down that path. But I think this is the right move. I don't have a problem with it. I somewhat agree with anybody that's saying he can't learn anything on the bench. I think as a player he can, but I think as a man, it's just as a young man to try to get his mind straight. I think this is a good move for the Colts. So we'll see how things unfold. If Flacco struggles, I think they go right back to Richardson. I don't think it'll be a question. But I think Flacco is going to do well. But that Vikings defense, you got to watch it. They're a good defense, so they can make Flacco struggle here. But I can't wait to see how this develops. But I'm rooting for Anthony Richardson. It's not a good look for him right now. He got to get himself together. So take the bitching. Keep quiet. Do your work. And then just try to get better. And I think he'll be fine. All right, y'all. So we almost at the end of the show here. What we 46 minutes in? Okay, so not making bad time at all. The show will definitely be shorter next week because, like I said, we got no baseball to talk about. So we'll be talking more NBA and the NFL. But let's look at the college football schedule as the number one Oregon Ducks continue to impress. Let's just look at the top 20 scores. I know it's probably other big games with unranked teams, but actually tomorrow night, Boise State hosted San Diego State. Boise is 15th. Georgia, Florida. I just talked about Florida. Florida not having a good year this year in football. Georgia number 2 in the country. Biggest game of the week, clearly. Number 3 Penn State against number 4 Ohio State. Duke at Miami. Miami's still rolling 5-0. 5th in the country, but they 8-0 on the field. Ole Miss, Arkansas. Ole Miss is 19th. Army still undefeated. Air Force not having a good season. Sorry about Navy. Navy lost last week. I think they fell out the top 25. Illinois, Minnesota. Illinois is 24th. Number 1 Oregon at Michigan. Michigan not having a good year this year for their standards, but still dangerous. So we'll see how Oregon handles that. Iowa State hosted Texas Tech. Iowa State still undefeated. Indiana undefeated as well, hosted Michigan on the road against Michigan State, and Indiana's 13th. Kansas State number 17 hosting at Houston. Texas A&M number 10 at South Carolina. Clemson at home for Louisville. Tennessee home for Kentucky. Tennessee is 17. It's 7th. Clemson is 11th, by the way. Another top 25 matchup. Pitt, number 18, against 20 SMU. Pitt is undefeated. And that is it. They're the games that's in the top 25 this week. The Penn State Oregon State game would be huge. That's going to be a big factor in the college football playoffs. So definitely the biggest game of the week in college football. Let's see. Let's check one more thing before we wrap it up. Let's go to the NHL. Let's look at the news first, Because Connor McDavid, excuse me, for the Edmonton Oilers, he's hurt um, for a while, so with an ankle injury, so that's going to be huge. But let's look at the standings in the NHL. Eastern Conference, Florida leads the Atlantic Division, and the New Jersey Devils lead the Metropolitan Division. West is the Winnipeg Jets leading the Central, and the Pacific is the Las Vegas Knights leading that division. Like I said, I follow the Sharks. The Sharks in last place in the division, and the Chicago Blackhawks are last place in their division in the West. The two teams I follow, so not good. Both of those teams have struggled the last couple of years. Of course, the Blackhawks was a contender for a while. I think they won the Stanley Cup in the last 10 years when they was going every year or get close to every year. And the Sharks just been up and down as well. But the last couple of years, both of these teams has been on the bottom half in the NHL, so not a surprise at all. Alright, so that is all for this week's show. Channel update. Like I said, I've been trying to do the shorts. My retro series shorts with the Nintendo Switch, the Super Nintendo games, Mario games. So still look out for those. We'll be back next week. I think I'm off next Thursday, right? So next Thursday, probably be around the same time, probably around 1 Eastern. I'll come on live. We'll look over the NBA, the NFL, look back on. I look forward to Week 10. But join me Monday for the NFL Monday Football Hangover as we look back at Week 9, some of the biggest games on Sunday, and this game tonight with the Texans and the Jets. We'll look over all that on Monday. Pre-recorded, but it'll be a live chat, so join me for that on Monday. Other than that, no upcoming big events for the channel really. Like I said, I'm looking into getting back into the PlayStation realm. I know I've been saying it for a while. I would have been back at it by now for sure, but like I said, some things happened. I had to make another move again, so unfortunately that fell through, but hopefully, sooner than later we'll be back. We have 310 subscribers right now. The goal is 500 before the new year. So if you run across this video, if you like any of my videos, definitely subscribe if you're not a subscriber. It would be highly appreciated. But I appreciate my loyal subscribers. And I appreciate you guys so much. Caper Crusader, my man B, I know this is a bad time for him, but you're still in my thoughts, brother. Hopefully everything's going well over in your country. And even my YouTube family. Serpentine 10, I'm watching her right now. I shouted her out Tuesday. That's why if you comment in the comments, I'll definitely shout you out on Tuesday. So I'm starting to run out of shout outs. Might just have to start rewinding, recycling them again. But go watch her channel. She's right now currently playing Silent Hill 2. That's been a good playthrough to watch. I've been watching that. I'm going to eventually play that game for the channel as well. So definitely go watch her play that. That's been a lot of fun. I've been watching that. Everybody. About social media, I don't get a lot of looks on social media, but I'm gonna keep trying to keep pushing stuff out, maybe. And somebody, the right person to see, and start promoting the channel more. So I appreciate you guys so much for sticking with me, and all my loyal people. Like I said, I appreciate you guys so much. Continue to stick here with me. Things will get better as time goes by. We're going to get better. Trust me. So I appreciate you guys so much. So that'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. Comment, share, subscribe to the video. Like I said, comment in the video. You'll definitely get a shout out on Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday for the Monday Football Hangover. NFL style, of course, as always. Thank you guys so much. I'm sure everybody said thank you. Sub up to all my social media and right here on YouTube. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Talk to you next week and have a good weekend. Thank you so much.